Hey, all you cool cats. Ready for a little fun? That's what I thought. Pop Talk, Scooby-Doo-Wah-Doo-Wah, Pop Talk. The fun never stops, you know. Pop Talk, if you're a nerd or a jock, run, don't just walk. You're ready to rock, you got Pop Talk.
Now, from Funko Hollywood, it's time for Pop Talk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pop Talk. We have an icon with us today, Mr. Danny Trejo. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
We're beyond excited. So we're just going to get right into it. It's going to be fun. We're going to build a pop while we're talking here. It looks like you got a head start.
Yeah, I was waiting.
Great. I'm going to go ahead and start with the first question. Do you keep track of how many movies you have been in? Like, do you have a number?
No.
Okay.
Everybody says 400 or something. I don't know how many. I have no idea. I know, God, I could probably count the movies I wasn't in.
You finally made it into the Star Wars universe. How did you land the role in the book of Boba Fett?
Well, it was about time a Mexican went to outer space. I mean, they got 32 episodes of Star Wars, and so I was really glad Robert Rodriguez was directing, and he called me in to play the Rancor Keeper, and it was like stepping into the future of movie making.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Wow.
There was the technology that they're using there is like all state-of-the-art, brand new stuff. Robert had I remember he said, if the technology's not there, I'll invent it. And I think that's what they did. They just invented, if you see like the first Star Wars, and then you see what's going on right now, it's like, wow. It's like, that Rancor, it almost sweats. I mean, it's like so huge.
Wow.
And it's, it moves, it breathes, it's unreal.
Yeah. You mentioned Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of family in the
Texas.
industry?
Well, all my family came from Texas. I was the only one that lived out here.
Okay.
I was the only one born out here. My dad came from San Antonio out here to work, met my mom, then went back to Texas.
Yeah.
And I was born here, and every time I got in trouble, my family, he's from California. So that was a curse. But actually, the governor, I think, or the mayor of Texas, governor, made me an honorary Texan.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
of
and I
course
remember
they did
yelling,
that.
"Hey, Juelito, I made it."
That's fantastic. You said Hollywood gives you a star that people walk on, but the Valley gives you a mural.
Yeah.
What was the story behind that quote?
They painted a big mural for me right on Van Nuys Boulevard. And it was like, a surprise to me, and it was kind of like
You had no idea that it was...
this
Wow.
guy, this real unbelievable artist, guy, Levi Ponce, he did it. He's real famous, but
Yeah.
goes on, does murals, and I was really proud of it. Nobody's tagged it, so that means it's kind of respected.
Sacred. Yeah, it's beautiful. You've played a few monsters, right?
Yeah, a few.
What's your favorite?
From Dusk to Dawn.
Yeah.
Razor Charlie, and every nightclub, anywhere there's a bar I walk into, this bar is for bikers and truckers only. My lines from... Okay. It's what I yelled at George Clooney, I honestly didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And he came on to set, and everyone, George Clooney. And I'm like, who's George Clooney? And I was looking at him, and he was like, there's a certain etiquette in staring at somebody.
Right.
No, I mean, you can look at somebody, but then either you have to say something or do something, And he kept looking at me, and just as I'm ready to say, if you want your mom, she's back there. I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And he just as I was getting ready to just be stupid, he goes, "Hey, now here's a bad guy, just perfect Tony Montana.
Oh, wow.
I had to laugh. I gave him the finger. but we became like good friends. And about 5 years later, I went to a movie that he did about a plane up in the air or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was like a love story. It's like, don't take me to drama. It's like, and I was standing looking at him. He goes, "Hey, Trejo," and came up, gave me a hug. He said, come on in. And then he took me on the red carpet and said, "Hey, I did my first movie with this guy."
So cool.
And I was like embarrassed.
Yeah.
But it was true.
How do you split your time between tacos and acting?
A busy man has time to do everything. I was doing a low-budget movie. Low budget means I'll give you a sandwich or something, you know.
Right.
But I did it, and it turned into a trilogy. So when we did Badass, name of the movie, I met one of the producers, a guy named Ash Shaw, and he had been in the restaurant business, and he saw that I like good food. I don't eat like junk food. I eat pretty good. And he said, "Danny, why don't you open a restaurant?" Jokingly, I said, "Trejo's Tacos."
Yeah.
That's how we're now in the restaurant. We got 4 restaurants, 1 donut shop. We've been going like 6 years, you know, so.
Yeah.
And it's strange because most restaurants, you know, they close like the first year. That's
Especially
LA's,
what's happened in the last 6 years.
LA's a tough. Well, I think the good Lord let us stay open because even during the pandemic, we fed the hospitals and fed the homeless, and then even during the riots, we fed the police. You know?
Wow.
It's funny. A couple of days ago, we were driving and this cop came up to us like this, and I'm looking. Oh God! I think he's gonna pull it. "Hey, Trejo, you fed us during the riots." "Thanks, Holmes."
Aww,
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, all right. You know, so
That's
it's kind of
awesome. I love that. Question for you. Did you know that you have the most on-screen deaths as an actor?
Yeah.
You did know that?
Yeah, I got a couple more added to that too. 'Cause I just finished a film called 1521 when the Spaniards were trying to take over the Philippines. You know, they were calling it, you know, "We're going to baptize you or kill you." It's like that was kind of the deal.
That's a movie that needs to be made.
It was, and we did it, and I died, and so I played. In fact, I played Magellan. And,
cool.
And Magellan got it. You know, so it was.
Would you say that was your favorite death scene?
No, God, my favorite death scene was Heat with Robert De Niro.
Okay, good.
We were sitting there before I went into makeup. Bob, I like to call him Bob, but no, Robert. I said, "How are we gonna do this, Bob?" He goes, "Well, Danny, I think you're already dead." And I looked at him, "You just got enough in you to beg me to kill you."
Don't leave me like this, Neil. Please, Holmes. Don't leave me like this.
Out of all the people that you've worked with, which celebrity has surprised you the most?
You know what? There's a celebrity named Donald Logue. So when I had met Donald in 1991 at the Hollywood Drug and Alcohol Center, 12 o'clock at night.
Wow.
And he was the most angriest kid I'd ever met and I've met prison angry.
Yeah,
you know, I'm mad enough to kill you. That kind.
Yeah.
And then 8 years later, I ran into him on reindeer games. And we became really good friends because he was the one that actually helped me write my book. I wrote a book called Trejo, My Life of Crime, Redemption in Hollywood. So we finished the book. And so that's why we put like a lot of the stuff that I've never talked about into it. You know?
That's cool. Is there anything today that you could teach us about redemption and forgiveness?
Well, it's like with me, everything good that has happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. Mm-hmm. That's everything. You know, me and a kid named Danny Levitoff, when I first got out of prison, started a a gardening business with no tools. We didn't have a lawnmower. We'd go to somebody's house, knock on the door, say, hi, you want us to mow your lawn? And then I'd say, okay, do you have a lawnmower? and then we get lawnmower brags and everything, and then we'd go mow about 3 lawns and then come back and do their lawn, and we had a pretty good business. And then when I left to go to prison in 1965, when I came back in close to 1970, this lady who, when I left, had a beautiful yard, and then when I got out, just a trash heap,
Oh, wow.
And I asked my mom what happened, and she said one of her sons died in Vietnam, another one was killed in the gang war, and her husband committed suicide now. So me and Danny would just kind of fix her lawn twice a week. We'd fix her lawn,
Nice.
and we got it looking pretty good. And this guy came and just said, how much are you charging a lady? And nothing. We went over to his yard, and he says, I'll give you this gardening equipment. We had so much gardening equipment, we bought a truck, and then from there our business kind of grew.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen if we weren't helping that lady.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah.
Got into the movie business same way,
Yeah.
just going down to help somebody and ended up on a movie set. Got in the restaurant business, doing this low budget movie for a guy. In 1991, I did a movie called Blood In, Blood Out.
Yeah.
And I did it in San Quentin prison. We went to San Quentin prison. I met a dude there, Mario Castillo. I ran into him 8 years later in a Narcotics Anonymous convention, and we started talking, and 8.5 years ago, he saved my son's life, so.
Really?
So that's how, you never know.
You just never know. That's amazing.
you never
got a
know.
lot of stories that are intertwined. People
Unbelievable, I'm telling you, man.
experiences.
I know God works.
Yeah.
It's like when God sees fit to give me a good day, I have to be humble enough to let him have his own way.
Right.
And a lot of people think they're humble, I think, but it's arrogance.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'd still be in prison or dead.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're happy that you're here.
Me too.
Let's do some rapid fire questions. These are fun, light, easy.
Rapid.
What was the first music you bought with your own money?
I don't ever think I ever bought, 45s were easy to steal.
Because they were so tiny.
I don't think I ever bought an album or a record.
Okay, so you never bought a lot of music, but what's your all-time favorite song? Do you have a favorite song?
There's a song called Heaven Must Be Missing an Angel.
Oh, I know that one.
Must be missing an angel.
It's a good one.
I used to sing it to my daughter when she
Aw.
was a baby, and she used to,
So
me,
sweet.
Daddy.
Best childhood gift?
I had a Rams helmet.
Yeah?
Yeah,
That's
when I
cool.
was pretty young.
Do you have a favorite breakfast cereal?
Oatmeal.
Ooh. Little oatmeal. That's great. Favorite all-time movie?
Frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Gone with the Wind. The
Yeah.
other one is Machete.
Good answer. Okay, so you have been popped. We've got your pop right here.
What an honor. It's got a lot of detail. Wow.
So how was it working on Rick and Morty? What was that experience
That
like?
was unbelievable. I helped raise 2 kids that were autistic. They weren't mine, but they were, and one of them kept telling me about Rick and Morty, Rick
yeah.
and Morty, Rick and Morty. And I said, yeah. And then they asked me to be on that show. And then my son came and he said, are you dumb? Everybody in the world watches that show. Oh, okay. So anyway, I had a great role as the Jaguar. And they didn't kill me, so
Wow.
I'd come back.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that. So at the Fun Days, they revealed what your new pop is going to look like. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
A lot of detail in that, too.
I like that one. That's the most famous tattoo in the world.
Can you tell us about the tattoo?
Well, the tattoo was actually done by a guy named Harry Super Jew Ross. And we did it, it took us like 3 years because we did it with a needle and thread. He passed away, so International Tattoo magazine was
Yeah.
doing a piece on me, so I mentioned it. They
Wow.
mentioned him as the artist that did the most famous tattoo in the world. Yeah.
Beautiful. So let's just talk about this pop that you made, this masterpiece.
I was doodling and and I just put this together. I think it'd be fun to just doodle with these all day.
Yeah, I like the term doodle. It's like 3D doodling. I love it. Thank you so much,
Thank
Danny.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey.